Customization versus configuration decision. This is the single most consequential set of decision on any Salesforce project. Get it right, and the system stays maintainable for years. Get it wrong, you will be in re-platform conversation within 2 years. Today we cover the 5-question test, the decision metrics prompt, the 80-20 rule, AppExchange evaluation, and the technical debt tracker that keeps everyone honest. Let's look at the stakes. There can be 2 paths: over customize, 2 to 3 times budget overruns, painful Salesforce upgrades every release, maintenance burden compound, adoption suffer because the UX feels off, and the re-platform discussions in 2 or 3 years. Properly configured, budget predictable, upgrade smooth, admin can maintain it, UX feels familiar, scales naturally, same business requirement, different architectural discipline, different outcome. The BA's job is to keep the team on the right path when delivery pressure pushes them toward custom shortcut. 5 questions before recommending custom anything. Does a standard feature handle this? Can declarative tools handle this? Is there a proven AppExchange app? Will this be maintainable by admins? Will this survive Salesforce upgrade? If you answered yes to question 1, 2, or 3, stop. Use that path. Only proceed to custom code if the answer to all of 1, 2, and 3 is no, and the business value justify the cost and an architect signs off. That sign off is your protection later. This is the decision matrix prompt. For each V1 requirement, 8 criteria with weights. Native fit weighted 3, declarative achievable weighted 3, maintenance burden weighted 2, upgrade risk weighted 2, business value. If custom weighted 3, time to deliver weighted 2, 20 to 29 prefer config with custom backup, 10 to 19 custom justify get sign off, below 10 architect review prompt. This is how a sample decision approval routing will look like. The metric scores native fit 4, approval process exists. Fully achievable in setup. Maintenance 5, admin can modify threshold. Upgrade risk 5, standard feature safe. Business value 4, critical for efficiency. Vendor risk 5, Salesforce owned. Adoption 5, familiar UI. Composite 35, strong config and standard case. Recommendation, approval process plus flow for multi-level routing. Verify approval process support delegation. That's a defensible decision with evidence. The 80-20 rule for Salesforce project. Always target 80% declarative, 20% or less custom. We ask Claude to analyze the proposed solution. Count total requirement, count declarative and percentage. Count custom and percentage. If custom exceeds 20%, identify which item could become declarative. Estimate the refactor effort. Calculate 3-year cost of custom, build, plus maintain, plus upgrade impact. Recommends item to shift from custom to declarative. This single analysis often saves $20,000 to $30,000 on a project. AppExchange evaluation prompt. Before recommending custom, always evaluate AppExchange. For these TechOps requirements, advanced lead routing, code to cache, forecasting tools, sales coaching, documentation generation. Suggest 2 or 3 reputable apps each. For each, evaluate established vendor with years in market, customer review over 100 with 4 plus average, pricing model, estimated annual cost for 50 reps, native versus OEM, trial available, implementation effort. Then you verify the actual AppExchange listing, current pricing and reviews. AppExchange evolves constantly. Let's look at the next prompt, which is custom code justification prompt. When custom code is necessary, write a justification document. It should have 5 sections: why declarative won't work, specific limitations, performance concern, complexity beyond flow, why AppExchange won't work, no suitable apps, cost versus build comparison, feature gaps, custom solution spec, approach, days, test coverage, approach, maintenance hours per year, 2 to 3 year TCO, risk mitigation, documentation, bus factor, refactoring opportunity, and the architect approval line with signature and date. This document goes in change control. It protects everyone. Technical debt tracker prompt. For every customization that gets approved, log it. The technical debt tracker has column for ID, item type, Apex, LWC integration, why custom was chosen, refactor target, maintenance cost per year, owner date log. Example, custom lead routing trigger, Apex, standard. Standard rules couldn't handle account tier times, territory times availability. Refactor target Q2 next year, 5,000 a year John D, March 22nd. This becomes the input for architecture review meeting. It keeps custom debt visible and managed. Following are the mistakes that you should avoid while doing customization. Custom first thinking, the cardinal sin again. We can build it ourselves over confidence. Ignoring upgrade impact. No architect review for custom decisions. Skipping AppExchange evaluation. Not tracking technical debt. Custom code without a test coverage plan. And 1% dependency on custom code. When that person leaves, you have an unmaintainable system. Each of these costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars somewhere downstream. Avoid all 8 and your project stays maintainable. Following are the 7 action items. Save the decision metrics prompt, 80/20 analysis, AppExchange evaluation, custom code justification, and tech debt tracker prompt. Run the decision matrix on TechCoff V1 and evaluate the top 3 AppExchange categories. Module 4 is now complete. You have moved through gap analysis, feature mapping, data model, and customization discipline. Next up is module 5, communication delivery. See you there. Solution design is now in your toolkit. Gap analysis, feature mapping, data model, config versus custom. You can now stand in front of an architect and defend every design decision with evidence. Let's take a break and meet in module 5.